Nigeria Info.
It's 99.3 Nigeria Info. Very good morning to you if you're just joining us on the morning Crossfire. We started at 6 a.m., but you're in time for us to look at the front pages. This is the time we will look at the stories making it to the big front pages today. I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
And I'm Sheriff Quadri. It's time for us to look at those big stories from the nation, the Daily Independent, this day newspaper, and Daily Sun.
And I've got here the Punch, media partner, The Guardian, Vanguard newspaper, as well as the Daily Trust on the table today. And Rotimi Sankore is here with us in the studio. Rotimi, good morning.
Morning.
Nigeria, we're streaming live on Facebook and Twitter at Nigeria Info FM. You can watch us there right now and leave us your comments on these headlines as they make you feel. Tell us what you think. Let's start with The Guardian newspaper. We have the banner here. Senate under fire over bow and go screening policy. There are 14 riders on this one. 15 out of 23 nominees enjoy this controversial privilege. It whittles quality of confirmation process, say CSOs. We are not compromising standards, Lawan insists. Women are angry at Buhari's biased cabinet list. That's the headline there. We find the same story reported on other papers, including the Daily Trust. Malami, Tallinn, 6 others appear today as Senate screens 24.
Front page, The Nation newspaper, Senators Grill, Sunday Dari, Dada, Magashi, Abdullahi, the writer Adebayo Ngigi, Alasha Dura Silva, 5 others asked to take a bow. Front page, The Nation newspaper. Front page, Daily Independent newspaper. We must work with executive on PIGB for its realization. That's credited to Senate President Lawan. The writer, Senate screens, Alasha Dura, Aliyu, Shehuri Silva, Adebayo Ngige, others. Front page, Daily Independent. From this day newspaper, Fashala, Amechi, Sirika, Malami, others may retain old portfolios. Writers, former Lagos governors, mega ministry may not be the same again. Jediaba tipped for Minister of State for Petroleum. Many lobby to get ministries they will be comfortable with. Senate screens 14 more nominees, 8 others for assessment today. This day newspaper. Moving on to the Daily Sun, ministerial screening, Ngige, Adebayo, Silva, take bow before senators as female nominees get soft landing. The riders, just one. CSOs kick against ex-AGF on APC chieftain rallies issue about Anambra nominees. It's from Daily Sun newspaper.
Rotimi, the screening continues today. Really?
Which screening?
Exactly my point.
8 nominees to be screened today.
Which screening?
Or let's say the appearance. Yeah, looks like it's just appear before the Senate. The appearance continues today.
This is the Senate's presentation of the nominees, just so that people can see what they look like.
Yeah, put a face to the name.
Face to the name, and then they just go away. You know, I'm so tired of talking about the thing. This is a scandal. I don't even know why anybody bothers to describe it as screening. Even some of the senators have said that this is not a confirmation. It is like an endorsement appearance. I mean, some of them are beginning to be embarrassed. I know some of them. I went to school with some of them. And, you know, when you look at their faces...
But embarrassment is not enough for us. I mean, being
yes,
embarrassed
but the point I'm making
anything.
Is that the ones that are slightly more decent are just shaking their heads there and thinking, you know, the Senate is just confirming itself, you know, to be a chamber of people that are not serious to the rest of the country. That's their embarrassment.
But we need them to move from being embarrassed to doing something. And CSOs are beginning to speak out now.
Well, look, in
like someone said yesterday, in sane countries, CSOs will be in front of the Senate. Nigerians will be in the front of Senate with placards saying, "What are you guys doing?"
We can't see anything. In any developed country, peaceful protests would have engulfed
the National Assembly.
The whole National Assembly.
Screen these people, ask them questions.
All kinds of balance saying, we need their positions to be made clear. We need portfolio attached to this thing. This thing is a scandal. I can't imagine anybody, sane person, going for a job interview and the person does not know what job they are being considered for.
Including your interviewers.
And the interviewer has no idea what they are interviewing you for. So,
you both just sit across the table.
So
and
you are lost.
smile.
The person is lost. Someone is going to put learner drivers in some driver's seat somewhere. Something they know zero about.
Yeah.
That will impact on the lives of millions of people. That's when the person... Look, so... The scandal about Solomon Dalong, because he was one of the weakest link in the previous cabinet, is about sports people explaining basic things to him. If you are flying somebody in, a player, for a game, and you have not called the person earlier, you expect the player to land 6 hours before the game, and the NFF says they want to buy business class tickets, and Dalong says why? And they say, well, look, if he's in the economy, his legs will be cramped.
And it won't be functional.
He won't be functional, and the thing turns into an argument. Why does he need business class? I mean, such basic things, not making money available for teams to progress to the next phase of a tournament because he didn't expect that they will progress. But yes, and then when they progress, he then leaves the delegation. His own ticket money
is available
for him to rush there, but they have not been their hotel bill. The players are feeding, So it's all this basic. Now just transfer this kind of scandalous ignorance to power, to health, to infrastructure, and just imagine the disaster. This is ridiculous.
Let's move off this one. We'll have a long day today. Also continuing on the live coverage of the ministerial screening. We'll start again from
the ones
11.
that are facing hostility.
Yeah.
You note that these are mainly the new ones.
Yeah, of course.
So it's like we need to test you.
Yeah,
I mean, where are your loyalties?
Yeah, where do you lie?
Are you going to start doing too sabi for us now?
Would you be arguing with us?
So that we can say, no, we don't want this one.
Let's say this story, a pretty sad one. 6 aid workers in Boko Haram's new video beg for rescue. Crisis creates urgency for action, says presidency. The story is also on the Punch newspaper. New Boko Haram video on Sharibu and workers disturbing, says presidency. On the Vanguard newspaper, fresh worries over Leah Sharibu's safety. That's the headline there. On the Daily Trust also, don't let Boko Haram kill us. Abducted aid workers cry out. That video broke my heart.
From the Nation newspaper, aid workers in terrorist video rescue us now. Front page, Nation newspaper. From Daily Independent, Boko Haram, 6 abducted aid workers beg federal government can for their release. The riders we are discussing with their captors. That's credited to the presidency. Yet to confirm Leah Sharibu's death report. That's another one from Daily Independent newspaper. From Daily Sun, anxiety over Leah as video claims she is dead. The riders Buhari briefed working to secure her release. The presidency release Zagzaki to us for medical treatment, Iran tells FG. Daily Sun newspaper.
Rotimi.
Well, I think we are back to more sadness. As if the bow and go scandal is not bad enough. Now we are being faced with the possibility that abducted citizens and see, the reason why Leah's case is more special than the case of others is that there is clear religious sensitivity involved. There is a feeling by people of her religion that so the others were negotiated, but she said she's not open to forced conversion,
and so she
even on a pretentious basis. So she was left behind, and when they said they won't release her, you didn't insist hard enough. Now you have to go back
and
then start from fresh again. You know,
really heartbreaking.
If the terrorists break into factions, one faction can disappear with her. Nobody knows what is happening. I mean, this is an extremely traumatic.
Yeah, totally.
You know, and honestly, I'm not in a position to judge properly the effort of the government. Whether they are really doing a lot, you know, to catch up for their mistake behind the scene, and we don't know, or whether it is just, you know, sheer incompetence and they don't say anything until something happens in the media. It's just they are also not giving us any information, you know, on what, and we just really hope that this indication from the abducted aid worker that is hinting that I just hope that
Sincerely,
that's not true.
I saw that video. It totally shattered my heart.
I just hope it's not true.
Well, we can only hope. Presidency say the video has only spurred them to work more urgently. I really, really hope so. Let's see this next story. Gbajabiamila creates 105 committees, compensates key allies, dumps Jibrin. That's a headline of the Guardian newspaper. We have it also reported here on the Punch newspaper. Reps to probe Obasanjo, Yaradua, Jonathan Parr contracts. That's one headline here also. Recurring threats to life. Stop open grazing. Reps tell security agencies. Quite a number of headlines there. Let's start off with this Gbajabiamila.
Well, I've not had an opportunity to go through the lists of the leadership of the committees. It came out a bit late yesterday, and we'll subject it to more scrutiny in the coming days and weeks. I mean, clearly, from the little I have seen, some of his supporters are heading some of the committees. He has also done something which I'm not sure how it will go down with the party. He has also put some PDP people in some positions. I'm not sure whether that was an RNG with the entire APC.
As a matter of fact, they said that he reached a deal with the PDP caucus that he was going to give them 60 committees.
Yes, so
and eventually he didn't give them up to that.
60 of 100 and what? So he'll give his party 40. What sort of negotiation is that?
So this is what I'm trying to say, that we don't know how this is going to play out.
Yeah.
You know,
we don't even know what's going on back.
Especially from his party.
Yes.
Because there are some people in his party that we feel that that the normal way to do this thing now is that you should have just deceived them into supporting you.
Yeah,
then after
when
you
it's
are
time,
elected,
you pull out
you pull the rug from under their feet and give everything to APC.
And there's nothing they would actually be able to do.
I'm sure that's what some APC people would have been expecting. But Gbajabiamila is probably thinking, well, people say politics is a dirty game. Let me show I'm a gentleman. Will PDP even be satisfied with the positions? I mean, who knows? We'll scrutinize and see what the developments are over the next few days and weeks. The important thing really is, aside from who heads the committees, what is the brief that the committees have? Are they really going to exercise their role in terms of research, to establish what are the benchmarks they should be working off?
Job description.
Yes,
very important.
For electricity, for education, for health.
What targets are they going to be meeting?
So we'll see. We'll see.
Embarrassing story on the front page of the Punch. I find this totally embarrassing. Snake sacks Ondo Assembly. Lawmakers flee. That's on the front page of the Punch. On the Guardian, Ondo Assembly's ceiling caves in as Snake chases legislators off plenary. It's also on the Daily Trust. Snakes chase lawmakers out during plenary in Ondo. Sheriff, you have the same story.
It's on the front page of Daily Sun. In fact, banner headline, Stampede as Snake sacks State Assembly. Daily Sun newspaper. Daily Independent, snakes chase Ondo lawmakers from plenary. Assembly goes on indefinite recess.
Look, in developed countries where there aren't even as many snakes,
no fumigation.
Believe it or not, they fumigate, they do everything, and on top of it, most of those countries, I know for a fact, have snake catcher departments.
What I'm
They
looking, what
have
I'm
so that
waiting
no.
for.
So even if even if you don't fumigate, you don't look after the building. You don't. I mean, clearly, some money has been allocated for
Exactly
this thing.
my
Somebody has
point.
whacked the money. Then a snake has been in the ceiling for heaven knows how long. Maybe
Hats
eating rats and things, getting fat, and then crashes through the ceiling or whatever, and the whole house flees. I mean, can you imagine the agbada flailing, hooking onto chairs,
but it is
people running helter skelter.
I don't know where the assembly is, but one important thing that actually is troubling me is where is the location? How did Snake get there?
Whatever the case, all they needed to do was stand outside, call the Department of Snake Catching. They just go in there,
get the snake, take it off.
Even my grandmother of blessed memory used to catch snake with her hand.
Please don't try that at all.
And tell us not to be afraid. I'm not urging people.
Yeah, just warning you.
But I'm just saying.
But they're saying here that their building is dilapidated. They're saying that the condition of the building is, I mean, we're probably looking to. Okay, so they're saying the building needs urgent repairs. But that the assembly does not have the financial capacity to carry out the repairs.
You see now. Alawi.
Oh my goodness.
Alawi has disappeared into.
Interesting. Take a look at this headline. Federal
in the whole
allocation.
sorry. In the whole of that state, I'm willing to bet that there is either no snake catching department, or if there is, it is unstaffed.
Yeah.
So you can't call somebody. I'm in a country where you can't call ambulance for human beings and it will arrive in 3 minutes.
Yeah.
They would have forgotten that these things are necessary.
Now.
Yeah.
Now it's a call for more money. Of course.
No, this is emergency contracts now.
Well, talking about more money, federal government, states, local governments share 762.5 billion. Naira, that is. Front page, The Nation newspaper. Front page, Daily Sun. FG states LG's share 762.5 billion. The rider, as Amcon laments 5.5 trillion naira debt owed by ministers, lawmakers. Daily Sun newspaper. From Daily Independent, FAC, FG states LG's share 762.5 billion. In June.
Let's add to that this banner headline.
That was the national cake.
Yeah, let's add to that this one on the Punch newspaper. Governors devise new method of spending local government funds. That's coming from Norgay. Union may be right. Yeah, listen to the government saying union may be right, but councils can contribute to development. Local governments should report states to EFCC and ICPC, says NFRU. So we still have this ongoing.
All this question of
Sincerely, the stories this morning are just
since the NFIU guidelines came out saying that only the local government should be able to spend their own money. I mean, so many governors just sank into sadness that that's half our OBE disappeared.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they've been studying this thing for a long time, thinking, should they just sack all the elected local governments where any exists and just appoint their guys? Or should they just call those ones and say, look, you people cannot take this money now, we have to find a formula. I mean, the thing is scandalous because, all this question of pothole, water. Look, every local government should have a water treatment plant.
That's right.
To distribute water to the people there. They should have a department that fixes potholes. See, this thing about our constitution, not being, I mean, you can't enforce certain rights. In any developed country, if you are riding bicycle and fall into a pothole and you fall over and hit your head,
You sue the government.
you sue immediately. Not only they pay for the treatment, they pay you compensation. Sometimes up to 2, 3, 4, 5 million. So people take it seriously. Somebody phone and report a pothole around the corner. The gang is there immediately within a few hours.
But hey, here is Nigeria. We have more stories across the papers. Go check them out.
No nursery school in local government, no primary school.
You know the one that I don't understand. You might find this ridiculous, but I think this is just basic. You find very big fat rats all across Lagos, in gutters, in streets. And I'm wondering what the job of the local governments are. Why don't we have massive fumigation? Why do people still die of malaria? Isn't this something the local government can take care of? I mean, you have Lassa fever, you have rats
clinics,
everywhere.
Vaccination.
Everywhere. They're so big, ugly looking things.
If you know how people react with shock, when I tell people that things like typhoid fever have vaccine, and in a country with no clean water supply, the typhoid fever vaccination is not being advertised aggressively across local governments, or hepatitis or meningitis, all these vaccine preventable.
Well, Nigeria, let's wrap it up here. When we come back at 8 o'clock, we're talking waste management.
If anybody missed a very, very, very important piece of news, which is that officials in Iran, which is the country with the largest Shia population in the world,
I told you this was coming
have requested that Zaki be released. So this is the commencement of the official Shia Sunni proxy battle in Nigeria. In many countries across the world, the Shia Sunni proxy battle has been going on. Once the Iranian government has made a statement officially, that's the
beginning.
Where it will end,
we don't know.
All
right, Nigeria, we'll keep talking about this issue and more on the show. But after the break, we're talking waste management and focusing on a story done by Woloshinka Fellow, a story on street sweepers in Lagos. We have in the studio standing by to join us Mr. Oladimeji Oresonya, who's the GM Loma. I also have Mr. Gbola Adebola of Rich Ball Environmental Services. He's a PSP operator. The reporter is also here, Bosede Omori of TVC. They'll all be joining us in the studio at 8 o'clock. So bring on your waste questions, waste management issues at 8 o'clock. I'm Wemimo Adewuni.
And I'm Sheriff Quadri.
Rotimi, thank you.
Thank you.
More talk, news and sports after this.